All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Apologize, it took me a little while to figure this out. I don't actually own a Windows computer. So I have Windows running on a VirtualBox here, and the screen recording software is running on my Mac, and that seems to be working out, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So I went ahead and downloaded my executable folder, iteration 3 executable. Inside this folder are 3 files you're going to want to run. You want to start with the start website server.exe. And that will start the website service, has a Django backend. Um, let's see, so we'll run that. And the first time I ran that, it asked me to allow access. Windows was worried about security settings, so you might have to do that. After you've done that, you can go ahead and run this open browser batch file, and that will open. Let's see. That will open up a internet browser running on localhost port 8000. So here's where customers can sign in. So let's say we have a customer that already exists. His name is Jeremy Johnson. He knows his customer name and ID. He'll go ahead and sign in. And so this is the reservation interface. Here you can see you can create, delete, load reservations, log out, make reservation. So he's going to go ahead, create a new reservation, and these are all of the products currently in the database. You can see there's just 3, apples, oranges, and grapes. So let's say he wants 2 apples, 1 orange, and he wants 1.7 pounds of grapes. See the prices over here per unit. So he's going to go ahead and make that reservation. All right, reservation successfully completed. So it tells him his name, his ID, and his reservation ID, which is number 5, and tells him to give that information to the cashier. So now we can go ahead and open the program. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in as an administrator. His employee ID is 1, and he doesn't actually have a password. So his name is Jim Smith. You can see him right there. So for this, I'm just going to run through the functionality that we've already, you've already seen some of this, obviously, but we'll go ahead and just run through that. So creating a new employee. So his name is Jim Henson, and his password is 1234, and he's a cashier. We can go ahead and insert him, and showed up and quit. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of him. And ask me if I if I'm sure I want to delete the employee. Yes, I am. And Jim Henson has been deleted from users. So that's employee management. I can adjust passwords. I can adjust privileges. I can update. So that's employee management. Next, we have manage products. I can do a barcode search, search for existing products. Here's an apple. You can see available units, price, customer price. I can choose whether it's done by quantity or weight, and then I can choose the provider. Let's say I want to add a new product, so I'm going to go ahead and come here. Let's say we're going to sell tomatoes. All right, and I can go ahead and choose a barcode, choose the available units, and you can see with this iteration 3, I replaced the fields with these spin boxes. The reason for that is there was an issue where the price fields would allow you to type the letter E. I'm not sure why. And so in order to get rid of that, went ahead and just did away with the fields altogether. And now we have these spin boxes that can be edited, typed. You can go up, you can go down, and you cannot do any letters. So then you can choose quantity or weight. I'm going to go ahead and insert the new product. Tomatoes added to products database. I can look up another item, oranges, and now if I look up tomatoes again, you can see it's in the database. If I want to delete them, I can go ahead and am I certain I want? Yes, I do. Tomatoes deleted from products database. So now if we look up oranges, go back to tomatoes, error, invalid barcode, because tomatoes no longer exist. All right, some new functionality that's been added to the program is customer management. So here I can type in customer IDs and search for them. So if we search for 1, we'll find Jeremy Johnson, customer ID of 1. Here you can see what a customer's point balance is set at. We have implemented loyalty points in this iteration. So as customers purchase products, they earn points, and those points can be used to purchase groceries in the future. Let's see. Down here we have the points conversion management, so I can choose how many points customers earn for every dollar they spend, and I can choose how many points are equal to $1. So if he earns 10 points for every dollar he spends, and he can buy products with every 40 points for every dollar, and then I can update that. See, the point rule is updated. So later on, it will, I'll make that an easier to remember number. So 10 and 100. And later on when we demonstrate that, you'll see that he can pay with points and choose to earn points as well. Let's see. One thing I want to go ahead and pretend we're a new customer. So let's say we have a new customer that wants to sign up for this grocery store loyalty program. Go ahead and open that browser back up. I'm going to go ahead and create a new customer here. So this guy's name is Frank, and there's this checkbox here that says I'm a new customer, I haven't signed up yet, and he's going to go ahead and sign in. All right, and so now you can see Frank has been added to the customer database. His customer ID is 8, and he doesn't have a reservation ID because he's not yet made a reservation. So we'll go ahead and Frank can have 10 apples and that's it. So he'll make his reservation. All right, so he's 8 and 6. And so now if we go back to the database and we search for 8, you can see, there we go. You can see Frank now exists inside the database. And we can go ahead and set his point value and go ahead and update him. So now, we can, let's see. Now we can search for Frank's name, and there he is, there's his information. So you can also add, new customers can sign up through the website. Let's see, older functionality is this manage orders. If we go back to yesterday, you can see there's several receipts, and here you can go, you can see information about the receipt, and you can also return items if a customer decided they wanted to return items from a receipt. That updates the receipt, all that information. Let's see, you can see things like the cashier, you can see the subtotal tax, being able to search by receipt ID, that's a previous iteration. Another function from a previous iteration is the manage orders. So if I extend my date range here, you can see I have a list of all the products sold, the types of product, the total sold, and the revenue earned by those. I can order these things by the name. I can do it by the total sold. I can do ascending and descending. I can do revenue, whichever one of these I want. And then I can also do any of these options to print a report. And I can see the total number of orders and my total revenue. From here I can print the report and save that. All right, and then finally, we'll go to checkout. We've already explored, this is from the first iteration, adding items to a customer's receipt and checking them out. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. What's new, though, with iteration 3 is you can now search for customer reservations. So here I'm going to go ahead and enter in Jeremy Johnson's customer ID, and I'm going to do the reservation number 5, I believe it was. So if we go ahead and load that, you can see we have 1 orange, 2 apples, and 1.7 pounds of grapes, which was Jeremy's order. You can see the subtotal, you can see the tax total. We'll go ahead and get the payment. All right, so now we're here on this screen. Jeremy can choose to pay with a credit card, with check, or he can choose to pay with points. So points available after the transaction would be 3,751. The transaction would cost 923 points. These are his available points. If he chooses to use another method of payment, you can see the amount of points that he earns This transaction will earn 92 points. So that's 10 points for every dollar. It's $9.23. And then it would cost 100 points for every dollar, so 923 points. So Jeremy wants to go ahead and use his points, so we'll go ahead and print the receipt. Asks to make sure. We'll say yes, and from here, you'd be able to choose a printer, or I'm going to go ahead and just save this receipt to a PDF. All right, we'll go ahead and do Jeremy Johnson and save. All right, excellent. I believe that's saved to my desktop. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay, so now if we open Jeremy Johnson's receipt, you can see we have the information. We have cashier ID, we have the customer ID, and we have his receipt. Let's see a little more with that. If we go ahead and, so this is a new transaction. So we have a customer that didn't come with a reservation, or I guess one thing I will go ahead and demonstrate is, so I believe 8 and 6 was Frank's reservation. Yes, he ordered 10 apples. So you can also add things to a reservation. Someone says, oh yeah, I reserved this, but yeah, I forgot I wanted an orange. So you can go ahead and add. You can remove, just like any other order. So that's one other facet of managing reservations. But let's say you have a customer, they want to purchase some apples. They didn't make a reservation earlier, but they are a customer. So we'll go ahead and do these two things. We'll go ahead and get a payment. So from here, you can enter, a cashier would be able to ask a customer for their customer name and customer ID. And so if we do load customer info, you can see now we have Frank's customer info. His name is customer ID. Frank doesn't have any points yet because he just joined, so he's not able to pay with points. But he is able to earn 93 points for this transaction. You're also able to create new customers if someone wants to sign up for the program as they're checking out. Let's see, so that should be most of the functionality that was added for this iteration. Let me know if you have any questions or any problems running anything. And that's all.